In the 1990s, R&B was no longer just about love songs and smooth harmonies. A new generation of artists arrived and pushed the limits of what the world thought R&B could say. Some songs became legendary not only because they topped the charts, but because they started arguments, challenged traditions, and forced America to talk. Welcome to R&B Lounge, where we uncover the untold stories behind the songs that changed music forever. Number 10. Poison, Bell Biv DeVoe, 1990.
Girl, I must I said something strange.
Before the 1990s changed R&B forever, the genre was dominated by smooth vocals, romantic ballads, and polished performances.
Relationships they seem from the start.
But three former members of New Edition were about to introduce a sound that would completely disrupt the formula. Their name was Bell Biv DeVoe, and their song Poison would become one of the most unexpected breakthroughs of the decade.
It's also when love is not together.
After leaving New Edition, Ricky Bell, Michael Bivins, and Ronnie DeVoe refused to simply recreate the sound that made them famous.
You know, 'cause in some
Instead, they mixed R&B harmonies with hip-hop attitude, heavy beats, and a street-inspired image. The result was a song that sounded completely different from anything dominating mainstream R&B at the time.
If I were you, I'd take precaution.
When Poison was released in 1990, some traditional R&B fans were shocked. The song did not follow the usual formula of love and heartbreak.
You be screaming, demon, poison deadly, moving slow.
Instead, it delivered a warning about deception, relationships, and being careful about who you trust. Its aggressive style made some critics question whether R&B was becoming too influenced by hip-hop.
Scheming, she'll make you think you're dreaming. You fall in love.
But what many people saw as a problem became the reason the song became legendary. Poison connected with a younger generation that wanted R&B with more energy and attitude. It helped create a new movement called New Jack Swing, blending the emotion of R&B with the rhythm and edge of hip-hop. Bell Biv DeVoe did not just release a hit song, they helped change the direction of an entire genre.
Come on, say poison!
Number 9. Freak Like Me, Adina Howard, 1995. In the middle of the 1990s, R&B was changing. Female artists were beginning to challenge the traditional image that the music industry had created for them. But when Adina Howard released Freak Like Me in 1995, she pushed that conversation into territory that made many people uncomfortable. The song was bold, confident, and direct. Unlike the traditional R&B songs where women were often portrayed as waiting for love or approval, Adina Howard presented herself as someone who knew exactly what she wanted. That confidence attracted millions of fans, but it also created a wave of criticism from people who felt the song was too explicit for mainstream music.
Don't give a damn about a thing, 'cause I will be a freak until the day.
The controversy surrounding Freak Like Me became part of a larger debate happening across America. Many questioned how much freedom female artists should have when expressing their sexuality through music. Some critics believed songs like this were changing the values of popular culture, while others saw it as a powerful example of a woman controlling her own message.
Just for me, if you are that kind of man. 'Cause
Despite the criticism, the song became a major success and turned Adina Howard into one of the most talked about voices in 90s R&B.
just like me.
Freak Like Me was more than a hit record. It was a cultural moment that challenged expectations and opened the door for future female artists to be more fearless, confident, and unapologetic. Number 8. Pony, Ginuwine, 1996.
I'm just a bachelor. I'm looking for a partner.
Before Ginuwine became one of the defining voices of 90s R&B, he arrived with a song that immediately made people pay attention.
Someone who knows how to.
In 1996, Pony introduced a completely different sound, one built around futuristic production, deep bass, and a style that would influence R&B for years.
If flossing, I'm keeping your stilo.
Produced by the legendary Timbaland, Pony sounded unlike anything else on radio. The unusual beat, slow rhythm, and hypnotic production created a new atmosphere that moved away from traditional R&B arrangements. But while the sound was revolutionary, the lyrics were what created the biggest conversation.
My sandals waiting. Top of the pops, make some noise.
The song's openly sensual message shocked some listeners and sparked debates about whether R&B was becoming too provocative.
Come and jump on it if you're on it.
Some radio stations and critics questioned if the record was appropriate for mainstream audiences, while younger fans embraced Ginuwine's confidence and the song's fresh energy.
Burning through you, baby.
But the controversy only made the song bigger. Pony became a defining record of the decade and helped introduce Timbaland's innovative production style to the world. It was not just a song that made Ginuwine famous. It was a warning that R&B was entering a new era where artists were willing to take more risks.
So come and jump on it.
Number 7. Too Close, Next, 1998.
Baby, when we're crying, that's right. I get so excited.
By the late 1990s, R&B had become one of the biggest forces in popular music. But as the genre evolved, artists started becoming more open with their lyrics and themes.
On you.
Now, girl, I know you felt it before you know.
Then came Next, with a song that became impossible to ignore, Too Close. It was catchy, it was everywhere, and it created one of the biggest conversations around R&B at the end of the decade.
Feels so good, so real. But I can't fight it.
The song told a simple but controversial story, a moment where attraction becomes impossible to hide.
And it's real.
While many fans saw it as a fun and relatable club anthem, others felt the lyrics were too suggestive for a song receiving heavy mainstream radio play. Some stations even created edited versions to make it more acceptable for wider audiences.
No, I can't deny it, but I know you can tell I'm excited.
What made Too Close different was the way it crossed boundaries. It was an R&B song built for the clubs, but it also became a mainstream pop phenomenon.
Just shake it on me. Makes me want you so bad.
Parents, radio programmers, and critics debated whether a song with such a direct message should have such a large audience, especially among younger listeners.
Dancing close. Feel a little coming.
But the public reaction did not slow it down. Too Close became one of the biggest hits of 1998, reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and becoming a defining sound of late 90s R&B.
But I can't fight it. Baby, it feels alright. Real, real.
Years later, the song remains a perfect example of how R&B was becoming more confident, more expressive, and more willing to challenge what could be played on mainstream radio.
Oh yeah, I can't fight it.
Number 6. Creep, TLC, 1994. Before TLC became one of the most influential groups in music history, they released a song that forced listeners to look at relationships from a completely different perspective. In 1994, Creep arrived with a storyline that surprised fans because it challenged the traditional ideas of loyalty, heartbreak, and revenge.
But I ain't bugging 'cause I still feel the same.
The song told the story of a woman who feels ignored and betrayed in her relationship, then chooses to seek attention elsewhere. For some listeners, the message was controversial because it appeared to support dishonesty. But for others, it represented a woman's voice in a situation where she felt neglected and powerless.
Around it's only 'cause I need some attention. Oh.
The debate around Creep became even more interesting because of TLC's image. The group was known for promoting confidence, independence, and self-respect, so some fans questioned whether this song matched the values they represented. Others argued that the song was simply showing the complicated realities of relationships.
If you knew the things I did, you couldn't handle it.
Despite the arguments, Creep became one of TLC's biggest successes. It topped the Billboard Hot 100, won a Grammy Award, and helped establish the group as more than just entertainers. They were artists willing to tell stories that made people uncomfortable. The song shocked America because it did something powerful. It started a conversation that many people were afraid to have.
We don't talk like we used to do.
Number 5. If, Janet Jackson, 1993. By the early 1990s, Janet Jackson was no longer just the little sister of a famous family. She had become one of the most powerful artists in the world. But in 1993, she released a song that shocked millions of fans because it revealed a side of Janet that many had never seen before. If was not just another R&B hit. It was a statement of confidence, independence, and control. After years of being seen as the innocent young performer from her earlier career, Janet stepped forward with a more mature image and a message that challenged how female artists were expected to present themselves. The controversy grew because of the song's music video. The intense choreography, futuristic visuals, and bold performance style pushed boundaries for mainstream television at the time. Some critics felt Janet had become too provocative, while others praised her for taking control of her own identity and refusing to be limited by expectations. But the reaction only increased the song's impact. If became one of Janet Jackson's signature records and helped redefine the image of female artists in R&B and pop music. It proved that a woman could be successful, powerful, and in complete control of her own story. Janet Jackson did not just release a controversial song. She created a new standard for what a superstar could become. Number 4. Freak Me, Silk, 1993. In the early 1990s, R&B was known for romance, emotion, and smooth, slow jams. But when the group Silk released Freak Me in 1993, they pushed the genre into a more controversial direction by making a song that was far more open about desire and attraction. The song immediately caught attention because of its sensual lyrics and intimate atmosphere. Unlike traditional love songs that focused mainly on feelings and relationships, Freak Me was much more direct. That honesty caused some listeners to question whether R&B was becoming too explicit for mainstream audiences. However, many fans saw the song differently. They viewed it as a celebration of romance and chemistry, a record that captured the private emotions people often experienced but rarely heard discussed in popular music. The debate showed how much R&B was changing during the decade. The controversy did not stop the song from becoming a massive success. Freak Me reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became one of the most recognizable slow jams of the 1990s. More than just a hit record, it represented a turning point where R&B artists began exploring more mature themes and expanding the boundaries of what the genre could express. Number 3. Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Aaliyah, 1994. In 1994, the world was introduced to a young singer who seemed destined for greatness. Her name was Aaliyah, and at only 15 years old, she arrived with a smooth voice, a unique style, and a confidence that made her stand out from other artists of her generation. But behind one of her biggest early songs was a story that would later become one of the most debated moments in R&B history. The title track from her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, was originally seen by many fans as a song about young love and confidence. The record helped introduce Aaliyah's signature style, calm vocals, emotional delivery, and a modern sound that would influence R&B for years. At the time, many listeners focused on the music and the arrival of a new star. However, the story behind the song became controversial when reports revealed the relationship between Aaliyah and the song's producer, R. Kelly. The two were involved in a secret marriage in 1994, when Aaliyah was 15 years old. The marriage was later annulled after questions were raised about her age and the legality of the situation. As more details became public, fans began looking at the song differently. A record that was once viewed as a teenage breakthrough became part of a much larger conversation about age, power, and the responsibility of adults within the music industry. The controversy followed the song for years and changed how many people viewed its legacy. Despite everything surrounding its creation, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number remains an important chapter in Aaliyah's story. It introduced the world to an artist who would later become one of the most influential voices in modern R&B. But it also became a reminder that behind some of music's biggest moments are complicated stories that can change with time. Number 2. The Boy Is Mine. Brandy and Monica, 1998. In 1998, two of the biggest young voices in R&B came together for a song that would become one of the most talked about records of the decade. Brandy and Monica's The Boy Is Mine was supposed to be a fictional story about two women discovering they were involved with the same man. But soon, fans began wondering if the drama was real. The song was inspired by the classic idea of two singers competing over the same person. But Brandy and Monica brought so much emotion into the performance that many listeners believed there was genuine tension between them. The media quickly turned the fictional storyline into a real-life narrative, creating rumors that the two artists did not get along. The speculation became one of the biggest talking points surrounding the song. Interviews, magazine stories, and fan discussions fueled the idea of a rivalry, even though both singers later explained that much of the drama was exaggerated. The song became an example of how easily entertainment and reality could become mixed together in the spotlight. But beyond the controversy, the music spoke for itself. The Boy Is Mine became one of the biggest R&B songs of the 1990s, spending 13 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and winning a Grammy Award. Brandy and Monica created more than a hit song. They created a cultural moment where fans were not only listening to the music, but following the story behind it. #1. They Don't Care About Us. Michael Jackson, 1996. In the 1990s, very few artists had the power to make the entire world stop and pay attention. But when Michael Jackson released They Don't Care About Us in 1996, he created one of the most controversial moments of his career. This was not a typical R&B record about love, dancing, or entertainment. It was a protest song that challenged society and forced people to confront uncomfortable issues. The song was built around frustration, anger, and the voices of people who felt ignored. Michael Jackson used his platform to speak about inequality, discrimination, and the struggles faced by ordinary people. Fans were surprised because this was a much more aggressive and direct side of Michael than the superstar image they were used to seeing. The biggest controversy came from some of the lyrics, which critics argued were offensive. Michael Jackson defended the song, explaining that the words were meant to expose hatred and injustice, not promote them. The debate became so intense that edited versions were released, and the song became a major discussion about censorship, artistic freedom, and how far musicians could go when addressing social problems. The music videos made the conversation even bigger. One version showed images of poverty, conflict, and social struggles, while another was filmed in Brazil and highlighted communities facing difficult conditions. Some praised Michael for using his fame to bring attention to serious issues, while others criticized the way the message was presented. Despite the controversy, They Don't Care About Us became one of Michael Jackson's most powerful statements. It showed that R&B could be more than entertainment. It could be a voice for people who felt unheard. The song shocked America because one of the world's biggest entertainers decided to use his music not just to make people dance, but to make them think. The 1990s was a decade where R&B refused to stay quiet. These songs challenged relationships, questioned social standards, pushed musical boundaries, and created conversations that went far beyond the charts.
You are that kind of man, 'cause I'm that kind.
Some fans loved them, some fans criticized them. But every one of these records proved one thing: the most powerful music is often the music that makes people react. This is R&B Lounge, bringing you the untold stories behind the songs that shaped generations. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe and join us as we continue uncovering the stories behind the biggest moments in R&B history.